The public library has a different mission. While there is a symbiotic relationship with the school libraries, it is very different. And to try to combine that, I think, is one of those ideas about saving money, which really, really doesn't save money, and in fact results in a blur of services, somewhat like the combination proposed of the police and fire department some years back in Londonderry. It sounds good until you really, really look at it. The public library has a distinct mission in the community, which is separate from the school communities. What's more, I am not convinced that under New Hampshire state law that is a legal thing to do.
All right, thank you. Karen?
I agree with Ray, much of what he said. That is not a good move to make, and it is not, it doesn't provide any efficiencies in the long run. Because while the school, and as you said, Sue Ballard has won many awards. They've done well. They work together very well. They do talk with the librarians so that they are aware of what kinds of things that students may come in and research, and they set that up for them. But it's a totally different mission. And that mission is to ensure that we have public, or that the public has access to all information, to any information available. And just like you wouldn't combine an academic library with a school library. I mean, academic being a college library or a research library, you want to try to keep those things separate because you have different populations using that. That's the same thing you want to do here. You want to make sure that this is open to the entire community and not just segmented to the school.
Thank you. Trent, your question, and to you, Karen.
Looks like $40,000 is going to be cut out of the library budget next year. If you were elected, you would have to determine where that $40,000 was going to be cut. And the director of the library has said that it won't be done by closing it one day a week. That layoffs might be possible. How would you deal with this $40,000 cut?
Well, I did read that in the minutes, and I'd like to, of course, it's going to require understanding the entire history of what's going on, too. But I do look at more at grants, and the consortium is another biggie. While we are, I believe we are members of the GMILKS consortium, which are several of the area libraries and some of the academic libraries. We can grow on that. There's more that we can get involved in. The grants that are out there, especially in the realm of digital preservation. And we can also look at what kinds of things can be preserved so that we don't even have to buy books anymore, or we can access things from other libraries, from those huge digital libraries that are out there. I mean, there are ways of bringing in new databases that won't cost as much. I mean, again, that's where you get the help of the consortium. The more people that are in it, the less you're paying for on some of those databases. So I think we can take a look at different areas. Certainly, expansion is not one of them. We don't need to go that route. I think the size that we have right now is perfect.
Thank you. Ray?
Yes, $40,000 would not be covered by a car wash or a bake sale, that's for sure. However, it is not the amount that requires vertical cuts. You can look at horizontal cuts when you're looking at that amount. I do think that, yes, increased involvement with the consortium, GMILKS, and the state library will increase the opportunities, which also, along with perhaps making what the library can do better known, I do think that the circulation statistics, and probably if they're kept, the visiting statistics, but certainly the circulation statistics for the Londonderry Leach Library are not as high as they could be for a town of this size with an educated population and the number of students here. I think we need to increase the circulation, and that has a byproduct of increasing the funding that comes into the library. That is where I would put most of my emphasis at the time. I would also take, again, talking $40,000, a hard look at how the money is being spent, because there probably can be some economies of scale that can be pursued in that regard. I think the organization of the library needs a look. 5 people titled assistant directors. I'm not saying that that shouldn't be the case, but that's somewhat unique in library organizations. So I want to take a look at that.
All right, thank you. Bill, your second question, and we'll stay with you, Raymond.
Okay?
A couple of incidents have taken place over the last 2 or 3 weeks that have gotten parents' concerns up, their radar up. One of which occurred over in Derry with a convicted child murderer moving into the area. And another took place in New Bedford, Massachusetts, where there was a sexual assault on a child that took place in the library, in a bathroom of a library. Everyone believes that libraries should have free access to the public, be open to the public. That said, do you feel comfortable with the security measures that are in place at the Leach Library right now for the younger patrons? And could there be more that could be done in that area, given that we're getting into more dangerous times these days?
First of all, I will say, as a security consultant, the location of the Leach Library across the street from the police department is a very good, secure location, and that is going to deter most people. Just simple fact of life. It's going to occur. But however, with respect to security in the library, I would do 2 things that are preventive in nature as opposed to solving a problem that I don't think is there right